get started here. We're going to go ahead and get started. I know there's speakers coming in. Please join us. La Una, we love it. All right, we got more people coming. All right, just 1 minute, sorry.
I know, it looks like she has entourage. It's Maria Elena too.
Let's go, friends. And thank you, media, for being here. We really appreciate it.
I love that.
We just need the Jeopardy music. No.
That's how senators roll. They walk like strong.
Yep.
Tell our staff to come back here too, right?
All right. Again, teams, staff members, Capitol, friends, neighbors, please come on up. We want everyone up here. Don't be shy. Labor friends, everyone.
Taking a picture, come up with us.
If you're not taking a photo, we want you up here. All right.
Maria Elena.
Okay, we ready, everyone? Are we ready? Okay. Good morning, buenos dias. Lina Gonzalez, the chair of the Latino Caucus and state senator from Long Beach, Southeast Los Angeles. And on the eve of this Independence Day, when we all take the Pledge of Allegiance inside the Capitol, and we say, with liberty and justice for all, we can't help but think, liberty and justice for who? We're standing here today as immigrants, daughters, sons, family members, neighbors. We're here to say loud and clear, these cruel and immoral raids don't just hurt immigrants, they hurt our entire communities. We are all absolutely and personally shaken to the core. We all feel the fear, trauma, and devastation invading the very places meant to keep us safe. Our schools, hospitals, churches, completely under attack. My district in Southeast Los Angeles has been one of the hardest hit in Los Angeles, and it is predominantly Latino. Places like the city of Maywood, where masked men have come in and thrown flashbangs arbitrarily into playgrounds where Latino children play, is immoral. Masked men in unmarked vehicles carrying AR-15s is just completely out of, I don't even have words. And this is federally sanctioned terror. We have to call it what it is. It's our Latino community, people of color, who are being profiled and targeted. They're hardworking families, though. And in Southeast Los Angeles and in many of the areas we all represent, about 94% or over 90% of residents identify as Latino. They work in manufacturing, trade, our farms, healthcare, education, childcare. They take care of the next generation. They're entrepreneurs. They're human beings. They're people with families and stories. And I don't want to go into how much they pay into taxes. We already know. When we go into the economic argument, no one cares. But we have to now talk about the human element and what is happening here. The Trump administration has gone too far. They've defied our courts, deported American citizens, kidnapped people off of the street, and terrorized our families. No one, not one person, can defend this behavior. And whether you are a Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. They're still taking you to. We need to take urgent action, and I applaud my colleague from Los Angeles, Senator Durazo, for authoring SJR 9, which we will present on the Senate floor today. The resolution makes it clear. We welcome immigrants to the state of California, and we denounce the mass immigration raids happening across the state. And we denounce the engagement of the military and the National Guard in our cities against our communities. And we support and stand strong in the rights of all people, and really want to make sure that we talk about liberty and justice for all, for everyone. And we're not stopping there. We're working together on a proposal in partnership with the AAPI caucus to fast-track key solutions. We are focusing on protections in schools, healthcare facilities, and workplaces. And we will continue the work every single day until this terror ends. With that, I want to bring up one of my good friends will come up very soon, but I would like to bring up an incredible labor leader, icon, someone who was just on Jimmy Kimmel not too long ago. And we were so very proud. And I could not bear to do this event without her. That is the one and only Dolores Huerta.
Thank you very much, all of us that are gathered here today. We want to make it very clear. This attack that is happening to our immigrant community is not an attack against them. It's an attack against all of us. The fact that their civil rights, their human rights have been completely violated with these horrific acts that they are taking. And we really have to question the dollars that they are spending to put people in detention, to arrest people, to brutalize them. Those tax dollars are needed for all of the other needs that we have in our communities. So we have to question. So this is why I have to say that this attack is an attack on every single person in the United States of America, all of us who pay taxes. Our dollars are not being used the way they need to be used. I mean, this is becoming a totally fascist state, and Donald Trump and the people that he is employing to do these horrible acts. This is an attack against all of us. We know that the people that they have been detained are the people that feed us, the farm workers, the people that work in the packing sheds, the people that clean our hotels, the people that do all of the work to keep America fed, clean, and safe. And we want to say that this needs to be stopped. And we call on all the people here in the United States of America, please join here, the Latino Caucus, and raise your voice and say, this has got to stop. Enough is enough. Ya basta, ya basta, ya basta. This needs to stop. Thank you so much.
Next, we have the Speaker of the State Assembly, Speaker Robert Rivas.
So tomorrow is our country's 249th birthday. It's the 4th of July. As the proud son and grandson of immigrants, I always have celebrated Independence Day with deep gratitude. It is a day to reflect on the promise of America, of liberty, of dignity, and of opportunity for all people. But this year, under the shadow of Donald Trump's lawless, militarized deportation campaign, I'm forced to ask, we're all forced to ask, what does independence really mean when our communities live in fear? Last night, in preparation for this press conference, I reread the Declaration of Independence. And nearly 250 years after we broke free from a tyrant king, these words hit hard. He has sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people. Let me repeat that. He has sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people. He has constrained our fellow citizens taken captive. He has abolished our most valuable laws. And the final line, he has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. King George and Donald Trump have more in common than we'd like to admit. And today, people here in California are living in fear. Not fear of foreign enemies, but of being disappeared from their own neighborhoods, of being taken by unidentified agents in masks without cause. And they fear this happening at work, while at the grocery store, or playing soccer at the park with their family. It's chilling, it is illegal, and it is un-American. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to go back to the district I represent, along the Central Coast in the Salinas Valley. I toured Braga Fresh Farms in Soledad with our friend, U.S. Senator Adam Schiff. We met with people who feed this nation. The fear is real, but so is their resolve. And here's what I know. Across this state, across California, across this country, people are organizing, they are standing up, and they are refusing to be silent. Because the only way to stop Donald Trump's reign of fear is by standing together, united in truth, united in justice, united in action. And let me be clear, what President Trump is doing, it is unconstitutional. What President Trump is doing is morally bankrupt. What President Trump is doing would have our founders on the eve of our 4th of July turning in their graves. Writing the Declaration of Independence took courage. Living up to its ideals still takes courage today. Never be afraid to speak out. Never be afraid to stand your ground, because it is our rights, our shared humanity that make this country truly, truly great. Thank you.
Please come on up if you're a staff member. Come on up. All right, next we have the good senator from Los Angeles, Senator Maria Elena Durazo.
I rise as a Pride joint author to speak on SJR 9, along with my fellow senators, Arreguín, Caballero, and Hurtado. We strongly denounce the mass immigration raids targeting working people, families in our state, and we reaffirm the protection of civil liberties and human dignity. Since early June, the Trump administration has carried out coordinated military-style immigration raids, targeting families and even arrests of United States citizens. They are targeting Latinos more than anyone. If you look foreign-born, if you look Latino, the agents go after you. This strategy is clear-cut racial profiling. My district has been deeply affected and been the center of violent immigration enforcement. Our response is peaceful protest. Our response is praying and marching alongside each other, working to provide legal aid and educating everyone on their constitutional rights. In Los Angeles, grassroots organizations launched the LA Street Vendor Solidarity Fund to support families during this time with food, with supplies, with rent, and more. In East Los Angeles, a Cal State LA student is leading a student collective to distribute groceries. He has organized over 500 volunteers. 2 military brothers accompany their mother in their uniforms to take her to court and protect her from ICE. Sisters and brothers, family, siblings, we must stop this mad person from what he is doing to our nation. But we will stop it not with the violence that he imposes on us. We will stop it with the kind of actions and attitude that Dr. King and Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta have taught us for decades with non-violence, direct action. We will stop this madman. Thank you. Okay, and I understand the co-chair, Liz Ortega, Assembly Member Liz Ortega, right here. Okay.
I wish I could say today was a good morning, but unfortunately it's not. We all know why we are here today. It's because Donald Trump has unleashed a reign of terror across this country. You want to know who he's chasing? It's me. It's people who look like us. We are not criminals. They are not criminals. Think about this. If I'm a criminal, why would I walk into a federal building, go through security, sign my name on a piece of paper, take a number and asked to be called. Think about that. These are obviously not criminals, not the people that MAGA said they would go after. These are the people you know and see every day. These are your neighbors who are being kidnapped and disappeared. I was able to get my United States citizenship under a Republican president, Ronald Reagan, because he recognized and worked towards amnesty. But unfortunately, the Republican Party of then is not the Republican Party of today. Ronald Reagan did not put me in a cage at 3 years old. Ronald Reagan did not chase my family and put them in unmarked vans and disappeared. So I'm going to ask everyone in this room and anyone who can hear the sound of my voice, what are you going to do about this? I will be here fighting for you every single day, but mark my words. Today they are coming for your neighbors. Tomorrow, they will be coming from everyone else. I'm asking you to please help us fight. Keep raising your voices, because we've seen this. Regardless of the color of your skin, your ethnicity, or religious belief, if we do not stand up, if we do not fight back, if we do not use our voices peacefully, you will be next. Thank you. I would like to now introduce Assemblymember Chris Ward and Senator Caroline Menjivar, LGBTQ caucus chairs.
Thank you, Assemblywoman Ortega, and I'm here with my Vice Chair of the LGBT Caucus, Senator Caroline Menjivar from the San Fernando Valley. I want to thank you all for being here today to be able to stand in solidarity with our neighbors who are being terrorized by an administration determined to divide, punish, and instill fear. I'm proud to serve as the chair of the California Legislative LGBTQ Caucus and represent Central San Diego, the 78th Assembly District, a vibrant community that was directly targeted by ICE raids just a month ago. And I'm here to say clearly and unequivocally that what's happening in our neighborhoods is unacceptable and nothing short of an attack on our values. And the LGBT community is no stranger to the targeting and hate that we experience every day, and has particularly been escalated and directly attacked by this federal administration. LGBTQ community members, San Diegans and I, are very outraged at ICE agents in unmarked vans descending on our neighborhoods using flashbangs, violently ripping apart families, and leaving behind fear, confusion, and heartbreak. These are not just headlines, these are real people. Parents, workers, neighbors being disappeared without warning. In my district, this happened outside of a family restaurant, popular restaurant in the South Park neighborhood. And I want to commend and thank all of the neighbors that came out immediately and said, get out of here. This is not welcome in our neighborhood. These are not the people that you're looking for. And most recently, just last week, in Mission Valley, in a hotel parking lot, an unmarked van, unmarked agents, supposedly agents, descending on a hotel and arresting a hotel worker, a U.S. citizen, who was not the subject of the warrant for the person that they were out there seeking, putting her in her van and taking her away for a couple days of torture and hell. And those are the ones that you hear about. Those are the ones that make the news, and while we're so consumed and distraught and shocked absorbing that one story, there's a dozen stories happening at the very same time. So let's be clear. What is going on is not making our communities any more safe. Bad actors are now impersonating ICE agents to abduct and traffic women and girls. Public safety has been replaced by state-sanctioned terror. And make no mistake, these actions are a part of Donald Trump's broader chaos agenda, sowing chaos, fear, and targeting the most vulnerable. He creates the problem and then gaslights you into believing that he is the one that can solve it, and then repeats the cycle right over again. And with Congress now passing their big ugly bill, giving Donald Trump a $45 billion slush fund for ICE's reign of terror, we're seeing this president use federal agents to punish his political opponents, threatening our governor, Gavin Newsom, and intimidate leaders like U.S. Senator Alex Padilla and SEIU President David Huerta for defending California's values. This is authoritarianism in plain sight. And tomorrow, on July 4th, we have a very important question to be asking ourselves as Americans. Are we cruel? Are we complicit watching this cruelty? Do we know our right from our wrong? And are we following Jesus' teachings or not? We're not going to be silent or intimidated, and we're not going to back down. I, along with the members of our LGBT caucus, and in proud solidarity with the California Legislative Latino Caucus and our fellow Diversity Caucuses, together we say no more family separations, no more indiscriminate political retaliation, no more militarization against our communities, and that's why we proudly are going to be supporting SGR 9. And I thank the leadership of Senator Marina Elena Durazo and call on unanimous support on the Senate floor today. This will send a clear message that ICE has no place in our schools, our hospitals, our places of worship, or any space where people seek safety. Thank you all for having us here today. And with that, I'm happy to invite up, I believe, the co-chair of the California Legislative Jewish Caucus, Senator Scott Wiener.
Thank you, and I see that my co-chair, Assemblymember Jesse Gabriel, has just walked in. He's sitting in the back somewhere there. Oh, there he is. Assemblymember, come on up. So I'm here on behalf of our Legislative Jewish Caucus and on behalf of the Jewish community in complete solidarity with our immigrant neighbors around the state and in opposition to this fascist, authoritarian police state, this un-American police state that Donald Trump and his cronies are setting up and that Congress is now fueling with the ICE slush fund that they're setting up to build a massive police state in this country, to take what's happening today and make it exponential. And that is terrifying. I am the grandson and great-grandson of Jewish immigrants who came here, who fled here from the pogroms in Eastern Europe and Russia, and came here to seek safety and stability and to make lives for themselves and for their families, for the exact same reason that immigrants come here today from Mexico, from Central America, from Venezuela, from around the world, to come here for the American dream, for what this country stands for, which is to embrace all different kinds of people and to make clear that we are one country and that we do not dehumanize certain communities because you can score political points off of it. And that is what's happening right now. And in the Jewish tradition, we have something called Tikkun Olam, healing the world. And a core part of Tikkun Olam is welcoming the stranger, welcoming the refugee. And that's why there are so many Jewish nonprofits who their work is to welcome refugees and asylum seekers and to help stabilize them and get them housing and make sure that they can integrate into society. Because Jews know firsthand from thousands of years of experience what happens when your government dehumanizes you and decides you do not belong. It has happened to Jews for millennia, and it is happening today. And we must never allow what's happening today to be normalized. And I know that for so many people in this country, they can't even process what's happening, and so they effectively shut down and just go about their lives and sometimes pretend that it's not happening. And I understand that human instinct. When crisis is happening, just go about your normal daily life and pretend it's not happening. We must never allow this to become normal. We must never allow it to become normal. We have to stick up for our immigrant neighbors, and they're going beyond immigrants. They're already talking about denaturalizing U.S. citizens and sending them to those gulags in El Salvador and Libya and South Sudan. So we have to put a stop to this now. I am so grateful to my colleagues in the Latino Caucus for leading on this. I look forward to supporting the resolution today, and let's fight for our democracy. Thank you. I now would like to welcome up the chair of our Legislative API Caucus, Assemblymember Mike Fong.
Thank you so much, Senator, and good morning. Buenos dias. Proud to join the Latino Caucus and our Senator Lina Gonzalez and the Latino Caucus is denouncing all the raids that have been happening in our immigrant communities. Immigrants power our economy, as you heard from Dolores Huerta, from the speaker, from Senator Gonzalez, and all my colleagues. The API Legislative Caucus stands in strong solidarity with California's Latino and Diversity Caucuses in denouncing the inhuman way the Trump administration has carried out immigration raids in our diverse communities and to have misused our military. I'm proud to represent the 49th District in Southern California, representing the West San Gabriel Valley. And in recent weeks, unidentified agents, many wearing masks, many without visible badges, have been terrorizing our communities. And in partnership with the Latino Caucus, our API Legislative Caucus with the Latino Caucus is urging a package of 8 bills to support our diverse immigrant communities. And as you've heard, we've seen dozens and hundreds of thousands of community members being impacted and their families being impacted, community members being swiftly taken away at the Home Depot, at Costco, at car washes and laundromats, areas of community gathering spaces, and even going door to door in our communities. And we know that more than 1,600 residents have been taken from our neighborhoods and streets, and family members do not know where their loved ones are. We must continue to denounce these immigration raids, and I stand in strong solidarity along with our API Caucus colleagues and everyone here to denounce the efforts of the Trump administration. And the fear is widespread and deep, and our immigrant communities are under threat and under attack. And this is the time that we need to continue to uplift our collective voices to fight back, to push back. And I'm so grateful to Senator Durazo for introducing SJR 9 to denounce these raids and to denounce the use of military. And to really, in these next few weeks, months, and years ahead, we got to continue to stand up, lift our voices, rise up. And the API Legislative Caucus stands in strong solidarity with all communities against heartless violence, against unlawful adoptions, against mass agents raiding our hardworking communities, and against the misuse of our military. Thank you so much again to the Latino Caucus and our Diversity Caucus in strong solidarity. Thank you. Next up, I'd like to introduce Senator Lola Smolak-Cuevas from the Black Caucus.
Good morning, everyone. I stand here representing the Legislative Black Caucus, and it's not lost on me and the community from which I come how horrific the actions that are happening right now in our great city of Los Angeles are, not just to our Angelenos, but to the world. As an African American, as a 4th generation Black woman, the images of mothers being ripped away from their children, the images of whole economic, cultural community centers being torn apart and obliterated, the images of the dehumanization of working people of color, of Latino immigrants who contribute so much to our communities, is a very, very stark, real, and painful reminder of the origins of this economic system here, where the lives of Black people were completely blown apart and obliterated, where our community, our mothers, our fathers, our uncles, our neighborhoods, our economies, our bonds with our neighbors were completely torn apart due to racial terror. And here we are as we're celebrating this 4th of July. It is not lost on me that this administration, this person in the White House, has brought us all back to those painful memories. As we prepare to vote on this very important resolution brought by my good friend and Senator Durazo, we must know that we cannot allow this racial terror, and that is exactly what this is. We cannot allow this racial terror to persist and continue. We will resist, we will contest, we will denounce these actions with every fiber of our being. Why? Because our humanity depends on it. Why? Because our economy depends on it. Why? Because our safety depends on it. We talk about this as an immigration crisis. We talk about this as a human crisis, but I want to let you know today that in South LA, we also are staring down the barrel of a serious health crisis. There were a brigade of Black and Jewish faith leaders who went to shop for food and deliver it to some of our undocumented brothers and sisters because they're too afraid to go out and buy their groceries. When they entered this apartment building, because there were several families in this apartment building, they realized because they had not been working, they'd have no electricity. They realized they have no water. And soon they don't think that they will have a place to live. And so as they were leaving these groceries, they felt the sting of what is about to come in our cities and in communities across this state as families are living in fear and our public health system is going to be tested and threatened by this. So this attack is going to be one that we are going to have to fight on many different fronts. And that is why the Legislative Black Caucus stands in solidarity with our immigrant brothers and sisters, with our families. We know the significance and importance of radical solidarity between Black and brown communities and how we stand together against this racial profiling and this reemergence of racial terror today, tomorrow, and always. This is California. This is our California dream in practice. And we will not let any tyrant, any dictator rob and steal that from us in any way, shape, or form. We stand in solidarity. We pray for those families and we fight with them. And I look forward to casting my I vote today for this very important resolution. Next, I will invite Monica Madrid with Chirla to come and share some remarks.
Good morning. I'd first like to start by thanking the California Legislative Latino Caucus for bringing us together to uplift and defend the rights of our immigrant communities across our state. My name is Monica Madrid, and I'm a state policy advocate for the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, CHIRLA. Today marks day 28. Yes, I said day 28 of an all-out federal enforcement campaign in LA County. And what we're seeing is unprecedented. And what these are militarized raids with agents from ICE, CBP, DHS, FBI agents, even the Marines and National Guard, operating without judicial warrants, refusing to identify themselves, and in some cases, targeting and arresting U.S. citizens. To put it plainly, we are witnessing warrantless arrests, detentions without due process, and a complete lack of oversight. Families are being left in the dark for days, unsure where their loved ones were taken. CHIRLA is leading the LA Rapid Response Network, which has grown from 200 volunteers to over 1,100 trained volunteers. We receive dozens of alerts every day, and a typical day looks like this. 90 total reports received, responded to 50 reports, 8 enforcement operations confirmed. Targeted areas include South LA, Boyle Heights, San Gabriel Valley, and one incident at Downey Memorial Church. ICE pointed a gun at a pastor who asked them to leave the church property. Our team of volunteers is not only documenting and confirming ICE activity, we also collect critical data and follow up with impacted families, connecting them with legal resources, counsel, and support services. We're also pushing forward bold policy solutions like AB 49, which would protect children from ICE entering their school campuses, and SJR 9, which condemns these military-style raids, and SB 805, which prohibits the impersonation of police and requires all enforcement entities to identify themselves. Chirla has also joined as a plaintiff and co-counsel to Vasquez Perdomo v. Nome, alongside the ACLU Public Counsel, IMDEF, UC Irvine Immigrant Rights Clinic, and LA Workers' Rights Center. This landmark lawsuit alleges widespread Fourth Amendment violations, including stops and arrests without judicial warrants or reasonable suspicion, detentions and arrests without probable cause, including use of force and failure for officers to identify themselves, denial of access to legal counsel for detained individuals, inhumane detention conditions imposed during the raids, no flight risk assessments conducted leading to indefinite and unnecessary detention. This case is about accountability, ensuring constitutional rights, ability to everybody regardless of their immigration status. To our allies, we see you and we thank you. To our lawmakers, we urge you to take bold action. Immigrants deserve dignity, safety, and belonging. Our community deserves to be treated with humanity and not be beaten down by mass goons. Our families deserve to find those that have been disappeared from, and family members deserve to have access to legal counsel, medical care, and basic human rights. We must do all our part to defend that. Thank you. Oh, and I would also like to introduce Kimberly Fuentes from the office of Senator Caroline Menjivar.
Hello all. My name is Kimberly, and I stand here with my fellow Capitol staffers, united in outrage against the federal administration's inhumane actions against our people that are not only immoral, but they are unconstitutional and illegal. We stand against the kidnappings that have occurred in our districts. Our communities are suffering day in and day out, living in fear. Fear of going to the grocery store, fear of going to the gas station, fear of going to work, fear of being kidnapped, beaten, and placed in these atrocious detention centers. Kids as young as 14 are choosing to work at fruit stands, selling tamales or tacos just so that their parents don't have to risk going outside. We carry those stories with us, we carry them in our hearts and in every room we walk into. The Trump administration is spending billions of our tax dollars all to wreak havoc in our communities. There's no money for health insurance, no money for education, and yet there is enough to fund new mass detention camps. And yet there is enough to fund ICE. Family members unable to find their relatives. Why? Because they are intentionally moving them to far detention centers and moving them around, sending them to places like Secot in El Salvador, and now, after the Supreme Court's ruling, can send them virtually anywhere without due process and accountability for the inhumane conditions. To my colleagues here, I see you. You are me. I am you. We are here because our communities matter, because we refuse to let up. We took these positions to be the bridge to make the most change for our districts. This needs to end, but it ends only when we commit to collective action. When we stand with organizations like Chirla, when we organize and fight back against this administration. They want us to remain hopeless and divided. But our collective action, our community, is what empowers us to keep fighting for another day. As my late father once said, no te dejes vencer. The fight continues, la lucha sigue. Thank you.
Wow, drop the mic, Kimberly. Well, we are here. I'm going to close this up by saying we are here as, again, immigrants, the sons, the daughters, the neighbors, as labor leaders, as friends. We are here to say no more. And I ask the media to come inside the Capitol with us. Come inside the Capitol to see actually what goes down when we take up SJR 9. Because what you're going to see is all of these individuals standing loud and proud against these ICE raids, standing with our communities. But what you'll also see are our friends on the other side of the aisle taking us down, just completely dressing us down, demoralizing us, and continuing this terrorization on the Senate floor. And I beg of you to report on this. I tell people, don't sleep on California State Senate or Assembly Republicans. Don't sleep on them, because they will come for us. They might be small, but they are mighty and they are loud. And we ask the media to tell all sides of the story. And so with that, I'm going to ask Dolores Huerta, if you would, to close us out with a few chants, because I know we've got to get to the floor to actually do our work here now.
Thank you so much. I want to thank the senators and the assembly people here in our state legislature for taking up this cause, as we know, not only for our immigrants, for our Latino community, our people of color community, but for all of us. And we've got to keep reminding people, $45 billion, really? Going to continue these raids and this inhumanity they have brought in our community? We got to say no, all right? We have to say no. And so we say every single person that is here, that is seeing this, that is here, pick up the phone and call your congressman. You know, put a call into Trump and say, stop the madness, stop the inhumanity, stop the madness. So can we do that? What do we say? ¿Se puede?
Sí se puede.
¿Se puede?
Sí se puede.
Okay, let's do it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Dolores.